Okay, so again, as per usual, it's been a bit of a second. I got my nails done for the first time ever. But I am coming up on the end of the year. I'm about to start my finals week. It is, okay, I was gonna say Sunday night. It's technically Monday morning of finals week. I have a final in 12 hours. And I'm currently in studio. And I just wanted to make a video about like the brutal truth of college. Like my brutal truth of college, because I know pretty much every video about college is the brutal truth about college, which is like it's great and it's not great. Like college is about everything I expected it to be, in all the good ways and all the bad ways. I knew, like, I'm majoring in architecture. You can see like people's projects up on the wall and stuff. Some have already been taken down, some have not. Anyways, I knew what I was getting into. I knew I was getting into deep shit, basically. It's architecture. I mean, we've all seen everything. But, like, I knew also that college was not gonna be, like, just terrible dread. There was gonna be fun. There was gonna be a lot of fun. And I have had a lot of fun. It's way different than high school, which is exactly what I've been wanting and craving, especially after high school graduation. That's what I was looking for. And I think college for me was really, I wanted to find myself. Like that was kind of the expectation. It was finding myself. And it is happening, for sure. I am finding myself, but I think I went into it kind of expecting it to happen a little faster, because at the end of high school, I felt really lost. I mean, senior year was easily like the worst year of high school for, of my life, for me. Like, I feel like every kind of section has like the worst year. And I think like for middle school, 7th grade was the worst year. I feel like that's how it's been for a lot of people. Like 7th grade specifically was the year where everything was terrible. I don't know what it is. It's the same way where everybody says, oh, like that breakup you have at 17 is the worst breakup you ever have. And it's like, yeah, it is. And it's really odd how there's just, it's like the canon events of the world. Anyways, I feel like a lot of what I saw online, I don't know if it's the same as what everybody else sees online, but a lot of what you see typically online about senior year is that it's like, especially if you go to like a smaller school, just randomly, everyone's just like, oh my God, let's just all be friends. Like everybody just randomly gets close to each other. Like I know that happened with the grade above me. Everybody just kind of became really close. Like there was a lot of beef that kind of just, slid off. It was water off your back, and everyone kind of just became really chill with each other. And that's kind of what I was not even just expecting, but like hoping for senior year, because honestly, like the people in my grade level, there was a lot of drama, not gonna lie. And there was a lot in my own friend group. I was oftentimes just the one, actually I think like all of the time, I was the person that was just in the middle of it all. There was some sort of going on here, and I was always just in the middle of it. And I felt like senior year, it just got worse. Like everyone was just at each other's throats. In my freshman year, I was in a rather large friend group, and over the years it dwindled and dwindled and dwindled and dwindled until it was just 3 of us. And honestly, it just felt like it was the 2 of them and I was just there. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. And like, I don't know, I think it started off with like on a bad note, like going back to the point where I made like, oh, the breakup you have at 17 is like the worst of your life. Like, yeah, I went through a breakup the week before senior year started, which I don't think puts a great tone to your senior year, And like, I look back on it now and I'm like, man, all that for, that guy. It's funny. No shade, but kind of shade. Sorry, not sorry. Anyways, by graduation, essentially, I was just ready to get out of there. I felt like I had lost who I was. I'm not even sure I knew who I was, but whatever little identity I had, I felt like it was gone. I was ready to just get out of school. I felt like I had been isolated from most of my friends by people I was really close to. But I think I was also very quick to blame others and not also blame myself, because I honestly didn't really have a backbone in high school, and I kind of still don't. It's something I've definitely been working on, but I had even less of one in high school, and I felt like there were moments where I should have stood up and said something, and I didn't, and I let a lot of things kind of just blow by me, and I wish I hadn't, you know. And yeah, so essentially by graduation, I was just ready to be done with people. I was sick of it. And so summer became sort of a transitional phase from, you know, like not quite being lost anymore, but not quite being found just yet. I really threw myself into work. I was working almost 40 hours a week. I mostly hung out with coworkers. I really avoided people from school. I mean, that was hard considering that my workplace is really close to my school, and then half the staff were classmates, but it wasn't like people I was like specifically close to at school, which made it different. But I was avoiding people that I was like actually friends with as best as I could, because I almost too quickly wanted to be disconnected from them. I was comfortably drifted from them without being fully detached, because I wanted to be gone, but there was a fear there of letting go. I mean, I'm not really known for liking change. I mean, I still, like, I haven't updated my phone in terms of both, like, model and also, like, the literal, like, iPhone updates that you get with, like, the new emojis and the new app icons and whatever. I don't like it. I'm not into it. I don't change things like that. I've had the same Subway order since I was 12 years old. You know, this year I've eaten the same chocolate chip fucking muffin for breakfast every single Monday, Wednesday, Friday during my break in studio. I am very much a routinely person, but at the same time I was dying for this change. I felt like it was the one time in my life where I was like desperate for change. And starting college, I felt found. And it wasn't immediate, obviously, you know. I was meeting people, especially during WOW, Week of Welcome. I was meeting people, I was making friends really, really fast, and I was getting out there. I was doing my best to put myself out there. And it was good. And I was still shy. I was still kind of shut in. I spent most of my time in my dorm, and I was afraid to talk to people and try to make friends. But eventually the hermit came out of its shell. You know, I finally put myself out there. I joined a club, and I dance ballet folklorico, and I perform all the time, and I've made friends there, you know. I've made friends with people in my building. I've made friends with people in my student, my classes. I felt like I found my group. I found love, you know. I'm dating someone, and I cherish him more than anything in the world. And I feel like college, in that sense, has been great, you know. But there are its ups and its downs. And I felt like I didn't really have anything to complain about in my life. Like, everything was going so well. And I know, again, finding yourself isn't immediate, and there was that expectation. And because I was just there but not meaning it, I again began to feel lost. And I think primarily it's within my major. I feel like I'm at the end of my rope. And like I've said it, I know architecture is a hard major. I've been knowing what I was going to get into. I know what the stereotypes are. I've heard about the sleepless nights and the harsh critiques. I've seen all the videos of all these first, second, third, fourth, fifth year architecture majors. I know it's a 5-year program. I know it's a long, hard, grueling process. And I said, I'm there for it because I have the passion for it. This is something I do genuinely think I want to do. There are things I want to do with my degree that I want to try to attack and change, because I see so many things in the world where I'm like, there's something that needs to be done about this. But being in this major makes me sit here and think, am I cut out for it? Because I feel like it's consumed my life. I cannot tell you the amount of sleepless nights I've gotten because of what I do. I think I'm on quarter system, and I think the worst of it really was my second quarter, winter quarter. By the last couple weeks of it, I think I spent, God, what was it like? I was pulling 3 to 4 all-nighters a week for the last 3 to 4 weeks of, almost the last month of it. Mind you, quarter's only 10 weeks, so that's a lot of it. And I felt like I was dying. I felt like my major, I knew obviously it wasn't going to be sunshine and rainbows. Nobody thinks college is going to be sunshine and rainbows. There's this independence you get, and it's really great and lovely and beautiful. And then you're in this, and you just get pounded over and over again, and you feel like you're getting drowned. And it's like, Jesus Christ, when does it stop? And the thing is, it doesn't. I'm a first year. I'm finishing my first year. Again, I'm on the eve of finals week, or the morning of finals week, whatever. However you want to say it, it's 2 a.m. But I don't know, all I've heard is that it only gets worse. It only gets worse from here. And in the industry, it only gets worse. You're working all these hours, your work becomes your life, and you're not even paid well. And it's just like, fuck, what am I doing this for? All I have here is passion and love for what I do. And sometimes I worry it's not enough. I wonder if I have the drive for it. I wonder if I have, the skills for it. I wonder if I'm cut out for it. And it's a very dangerous path to go down, especially considering that this is, yes, it's a STEM major, but it's also an arts major. And they say comparison is the thief of joy, but with an arts major, all you do is compare. You compare, and you can't help it, because sometimes it feels like everybody is doing better than you. Everybody knows what they're doing except you, and you sit there and you're like, fuck me, bro. I don't even know what's going on. Someone asked me a question. Girl, I don't know. You think I know what's going on in here? You think I know what's happening? I don't sometimes. And it's very annoying and frustrating, especially because it's a major where it's like, oh, there's no rules, you just figure it out, which I like, and I also hate. It comes with its pros and cons. And I really try to not compare myself to others, because I know that some people have had opportunities that I don't, or, they just live lives that I don't. And it's important to remember, and this goes for any major. This goes for anyone, who might be sitting here 15 minutes into this video being like, I want to go to college, but I'm worried that oh my God, I'm sorry, my hair is terrible right now. But I want to go to college, but I'm worried that everybody's going to have everything figured out except me. And the great thing is, honestly, nobody has it figured out. It's gonna be hard to find someone who really does have it figured out, and not only has it figured out, but it's actually going well for them. Because it may feel like, and it may seem like, everybody else has it set except you, and I promise you that's not true. The most well put together people you might meet might be falling apart behind the scenes, and it's a little it makes everything real. And that's why I want to be so honest with the videos I make, and I don't want to like make videos that are like over edited or, you know, things like that. And my train of thought just crashed into a wall that had a fake painting of a road on it. You know those, when that happened, I kind of just forgot what I was saying. Essentially, just like, know that you're not alone. And I know everybody says that shit, that you're not alone, and it feels like you are. But sometimes there's just comfort in knowing that, like, you're not the only one who feels like they're 10 feet deep in a shithole. It does. And, like, it sucks because, like, man, it kind of sucks that you're also in this shithole. But at least I'm not the only one. It kind of feels fucked up, but that's just how life goes. Sometimes things are a little fucked up, and you kind of have to roll with it. And I know I'm not going to stay in this lost feeling forever. And if you're in this lost feeling right now, you're also not going to stay there forever. That's kind of like the great part about it, is like it's this ebb and flow with life, which is really funny because I actually just named my last project Ebb and Flow, because that's how this quarter has felt. I really did not like the work I produced this quarter. I felt like I became trapped in this major, and my life kind of became about it, and I was living in it, and that's all I did. And I made dog shit. Like, my first project this quarter was Design Village. If you don't know it, look it up. And I ended up being the person in my group doing most of the work, in my opinion, and it was kind of agreed upon by some people in my group. And it really did just suck everything out of me. I mean, by the last week of it, it's only a 4-week project. By the last week of it, I was in studio for minimum 7 hours a day. And it was painful, and I felt like it drained me. And like, the fact that there's a project after Design Village is baffling to me. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know why. Why would you do it like that? I think it's stupid. And I think just beyond that critique I have, I think there's a lot in the architecture major and also profession that needs to change. I don't think it should be so normalized that, like, that students have like 0 hours of sleep regularly, or that, it's impossible to get 100s because there's no such thing as perfect work. Like, I had a girl in my first studio class who got a 97 on her project, and she went up to the professor and she said, "How can I make this better?" And it like literally broke my professor's brain, because she had never had someone with that high of a grade come up and ask for feedback, because usually people have that 97 and they're like, "I did so good, like I wasn't expecting to do that good," and they take it because they're like, they hold on to it, it's precious, And my professor's like, "I've never had someone come up to me and ask for feedback after receiving such a high grade." And then my professor actually ended up correcting the grade to a 99, which is the highest grade she had ever given out. And I feel like this girl should have gotten a 100. Like, I can't imagine what she could have done better. And I feel like it's just so normalized that, like, they just crack down on you so effing hard, and it just gets worse. Like, I had a professor who asked, like, this was not my personal experience. I'm going to speak about it like it was, but I did hear the second hand through my friend who went through this, who asked the class, "How many hours did you spend on this project?" And the class responded, many of them had sleepless nights. But the professor, he was just like, "That's not enough. Like, this is a sleepless major." And I feel like that's something that should not be perpetuated. And I know this conversation is kind of going from me feeling lost to my gripes with architecture as a major, but I think it's something that's important to talk about. And I might honestly make a separate video about this, just because that's kind of what I want to do with my degree, is just change how this industry works, because I think it's evil. I think it's wrong. I don't think I should be here at 2 a.m. doing work. I think I should be able to go to my bed and get some sleep, get some good fucking sleep without feeling guilty about going to bed. Because that's how it feels because there's nights where I'm tired and I throw in the towel and I feel bad about it. I feel like, man, I should not be sleeping right now. What do you mean I feel like I shouldn't be sleeping? you think it's okay to, like, I feel like it's a completely different situation, but I feel like Angela from Smosh. I need to calm down. I'm an adult. Because I am an adult. And I do. I need to calm down in the moment, but I feel like, again, it's something I should talk about. And, oh my God. Okay, I don't want to discourage anyone who wants to major in architecture, but it is hard. And the things you hear about it are true. And I don't want them to be, but they are. And people are going to say it's up to you to change it, but it's really hard to, because people are going to be like, well, it's up to you to choose whether to stay up all night or not. And it's like, but like, sometimes you literally have no choice. You can have the best, I have people, I don't think there's a single person in this major. I'm in a class of 180 freshmen, and I don't think there is a single one who has not pulled at least one all-nighter. Do you know how insane that is? You can have the best time management in the world, and at some point, you will still need to pull an all-nighter to produce something that is of quality work, to get an A, to get that good grade. You know? Unless you settle for, you know, a B or even an A minus. And I don't think that's right. And I think this major is really why I feel lost right now, because I feel like I've forgotten myself for the sake of the work that I do. And I don't even like the work that I do anymore, and that's the most frustrating part. But yeah, that's kind of concluding my rant, honestly. Yeah, I just feel like I'm on a little raft in the middle of the ocean, and I don't really know where it's heading right now. But I trust that I will end up where I need to go. The only thing is, I cannot just let the raft float and just let the wind take me. I need to put in the work too. And I know that, and I cannot always shift the blame elsewhere. But I think it's important to point out the points where things are going wrong. Yeah. I'm sorry that this video was such a downer, especially to come back after like 6 months. Wait, let me check this real time. How long has it been since I made a video? Oh, it's been 5 months. It's been 5 months since I made something and posted it. And I've definitely, I actually have been planning on writing actual scripts for videos that I want to make. And I do have, ideas written down and scripts written. What I was if you notice me continuously looking up, it's also partially because I'm looking at a script I wrote, because I wanted to make sure I was talking about the right thing. And I did go very off script, but it's more of a general idea. I've given a lot of presentations in my life, and I don't think ever once in my life have I ever followed an outline. I've written entire scripts for speeches before, and then I won't even look at it again. It's just how I work, you know? I do apologize that my first video after 5 months of not posting is such a downer. I will say it's also really hard to film videos when you live, when you share a space with other people. Next school year, I'm about to enter summer, so hopefully I will have more regular content. I'm also going to make a lot of content about make a lot of videos about end of year, dorm stuff, all the fun things, all the fun things to talk about. And hopefully second year, I'll have a lot more personal space to make videos. I'll have my own room. I'll still have roommates, obviously, but I'll have my own room. Yay! But yeah, if you're still watching, thank you for listening to my Coke rant. I know I went very off the ledge there, but college is fun. College is good. It's just also very annoying and frustrating. And it's important to not forget that it is a good time. You just have to make sure you make it a good time. I hope to see you guys around. Bye-bye.